there's kind of two things going on at the same time with the I don't want to feel the pain. One of them is you don't want to feel the suffering, or at least part of you knows that suffering isn't so much natural. It's something we're adding to our experience. It's unnecessary. And that's, it's Buddhism. It's really all of these paths kind of one way or another say that. But the other part of it is conditioned, and the conditioned part of us, of everyone. There's worlds of identities and distractions and social media outlets and all this constructed just to give us a constant distraction to not recognize how much emotion we've repressed. And that is the case. That is the human condition for now. So you are a very heart-based person, very heart open, or at least you have the potential to be very, very heart open, no doubt about it. And that means you feel the pain of the world. You feel this is in one sense, you could say at one level, it's the movement of the bodhisattva. You can't not feel the pain of the world. And there's this thing about the bodhisattva vows in Buddhism and stuff, and that's great. But I often say, be careful what you ask for. Like, do you really want to feel the pain of the world and not be able to feel the pain of the world? So the only way through for you is the big one, is completely dissolving all the boundaries, because you're not the kind of guy who's going to learn not to feel pain of other people. You can learn sometimes better coping mechanisms if you're in relationships that have bad boundaries. You can learn good boundaries. There are practical things, and you may need some of that. But in a lot of the stuff about boundaries is good communication. You really got to find that place where you can you have the ability in the relationship to talk really honestly, specifically about what's the most important thing to you, and talk about it in a way that is non-threatening. Maybe to tell your partner, like, hey, this is something you really have to know about me. It's important. And it's not even a choice I have. I can't choose for this not to be important to me. It just is. It drives my life. And it doesn't mean it's the only aspect of my life, but it is the prominent aspect of my life. And sometimes just reassuring your partner that it doesn't mean it has to be that way for you. I don't impose this on anyone. And it's not a threat to you per se, but it is something that you're going to feel around me. Probably you're going to notice I spend time going to retreats and doing the things I do with this, and that I have interest in it, because you're going to have an effect on that person, whether they like it or not. You're just going to. And the more you wake up, the more you're going to. There's no other way around it. It just will happen. And some people are like full on, oh, that's awesome, I love it, I'm all in. Other people are like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard about. Well, that's maybe not the person to date, right? So you have to be kind of deeply and radically authentic in certain emotionally connected situations. Now, the area that can be tricky, depending on your situation, your culture, your family, is the family, because you can't really choose the family. You don't go out and pick your family, right? So this is one of those things that I've noticed. I don't know if it's people just have different karmic burdens, but for some people, this just doesn't come up as a problem. They have a family who doesn't really care. Yeah, they're like, whatever. Yeah, if you're interested in spirituality, so be it. If you're not, whatever. Other families really have a buy-in on what you're interested in, and they want to know about it, and they want to approve it, and they want, and some people really reject their family members when they get interested in this type of thing. And you have to actively hide it from them. Let's see what it is. If it's a fear of abandonment, let's go down there. Let's find it. Let's intone to yourself, okay, I am unloved. If you have to go back to your childhood to find that place, which almost everyone, if not everyone, even people with incredibly good parents, because of the nature of mind identification, the child goes through this phase where they actually build an identity over the fear that I have a parent that may not be able to fully protect me, fully take care of me in the way I really absolutely need it. And that's so scary. It's so terrifying that we dodge it, and then build a bunch of identities, but we come back to it at some point. And it's the fear of a child that's completely helpless, of physical, human, organic, visceral fear. And everyone has to come back through that at some point in one way or another. And you may have already to some degree, you may have fully, you never know. Sometimes you'll hit this huge fear barrier, and then the next time that exact set of conditions comes up where you walk right to the edge of something, or something's just relaxing so much, and it's like, oh wow, there's no fear barrier here this time. You might be surprised. That's how it often is. It's like, oh, I usually react to this. There's no reaction.